Girlfriend kissed someone in front of me but swears she was spiked. My GF, 20F, and me, 20M, of over a year were out at a friend's 21st birthday around 10 days ago. We were in a club and I left to go to the toilet and get a drink. She was completely out of it and was beside a wall on her phone and said she'd wait for me. When I came back up the stairs I saw her pulling away from a kiss with another random man. I'm not sure what to do. When I saw this I quickly confronted her and she looked at me weirdly. Like she'd just seen a ghost. It didn't seem like an "oh fug I've been caught" kind of look. Just a look of serious confusion. I was obviously devastated and told her to never speak to me again and left. She managed to find me before I could go and was begging me to tell her what had happened as she didn't know, but I just kept saying never talk to me again and left to go on a walk. I went to meet one of my friends who happened to be awake after this had all gone down to talk through what happened when my brother called me around an hour after everything had happened. My GF had managed to get a taxi to my house and was screaming crying on the steps of my house at 4 a.m. begging for me to go and talk to her. She knew what happened at this point as I'd texted her mum, we were fairly close, about how betrayed I'd felt. I refused to talk to her and eventually my mother had to drive her home. After about 4 hours sleep I woke up to calls from both her and her mum begging me A. for forgiveness and B. for an explanation as to what happened, as she insisted she still didn't know. Still angry I didn't budge, but they both came to my house to beg me for forgiveness, and did so for hours. Showing the receipts of a surprise Christmas holiday she'd booked the two of us Oswell as a reminder of our plans to move in together in a few years and supposedly marry and start a family. Insisting she had no idea what had happened and was in no mind to ever do this and couldn't imagine it ever happening. Bear in mind our relationship has been so solid to this point we'd never even had an argument really and were together almost a year. After her begging I told her I'd consider a chance, but ultimately everything was over with us. Later that day she went to see a doctor. Convinced she was spiked. And the doctor agrees. However, due to rules in my country around forensic tests and their availability, E.G. pretty much only available in a case of suspected SA1 couldn't be done, so all I have is a diagnosis of suspected spiking. After which I've said I will give her a chance. But I still feel so unsure. I need advice. She has been a complete open book since this happened. Begged me for forgiveness and done everything to make it clear I mean the world to her. However, regardless of her headspace and the spiking, the image of what I saw is incredibly traumatic and I can't get it out of my head. We're currently in contact and trying to see if we can move past this, but I don't know if I ever will be able to. Especially be able to rebuild the trust that's been destroyed. To note, she's a high-level athlete that travels often through the year, and we were also preparing for long distance to begin close to this time 2025. Which makes fully trusting her incredibly paramount to our dynamic. I've never been in this situation before. I don't know what to do or if I can see through all this. I know this isn't as hardcore as a 10-year marriage being ended by an emotional affair like often seen on this sub. But I could use opinions from people with no connection to either of us in any way. Thanks.